welcome to The Queer Gaze, a gay movie podcast dedicated to examining queer representation and issues.
We are dropping some bonus content on TIFF movies because Conrad and I are both here in Toronto. So for this piece, we're going to be talking about A Private Life, which is directed by Rebecca Zlotowski. It is co-written by Zlotowski as well as Anne Berest and Gail Massé. And Conrad, this is a fun one because it is a French film that stars Jodie Foster speaking almost exclusively French.
Indeed, yes. I think she's done it once or twice before.
Okay.
But she's very famous for doing her own French dubs whenever her films are translated into French.
Okay.
She doesn't have a person that is her French voice all of the time. She is the French voice. I think there is a reason for it. I think she studied in France for a while, and so it's just in there.
Right.
Francophile Jodie Foster. And she's a queer icon.
Yes.
It's always nice to see a movie starring Jodie Foster. This one's a slightly odd one because it's a bit of a mixture of genres. Mm-hmm. On the one hand, you have a thriller premise. So she plays a psychoanalyst who is shocked to discover that one of her patients has died.
Yes, by suicide.
By suicide.
Using the pills that she prescribed.
Yes, which makes her less than welcome at the wake. Mm-hmm. But as she listens back to her patient's notes, because she records all of her sessions with her patients, she becomes more and more convinced that she has fallen prey to some sort of murderous conspirational scheme, possibly involving family members.
Yes.
And she is investigating it with the help of her ex-husband, who is played by Daniel Auteuil, not an easy name to pronounce, playing Gabriel, who is her optometrist, but then you also learn her ex-husband.
Yes.
The two of them have lovely chemistry. So on the one hand, you think that this is going to be this sort of pot-boiling psychological thriller.
Yeah, it has a kind of like paperback thriller vibe to it. You know, unlikely investigator gets mired in something beyond their measure, and, you know, are they going to catch the killer, or are they going to get themselves into trouble because they're not a professional, and so on. And it does have elements of that. Like we have not a car chase, but we have a late night, you know, we're going to follow this person to a second mystery location. We're going to spy on them. We're going to try to bluff our way in. So we're doing those kinds of things. But at the end of the day, this film is actually not that. Like, this isn't a murder mystery, right? Like,
no, it's a farce. It's a French farce. And it has all of the touches of it. You genuinely get into ridiculous moments that involve nudity, that involve pretending to be something that you're not.
Right.
And it's unusual to see Jodie doing that kind of thing, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, she is playing it straight. You know, we're doing this for The Queer Gaze as opposed to Movie Oubliette because I don't think the genre components are actually strong enough to qualify it for your mainstay podcast. We should note this movie isn't especially queer either. Like, in some ways, Jodie Foster is bringing a queer sensibility to it because, of course, you know, like, I watch her in the sex scene and I think, does this look compelling and realistic? Because she's such a queer icon. She's an out and proud lesbian and has been for so many years now. And I will say, I do find her very believable. I think her chemistry with Auteuil as her husband, Gabby, is fantastic. Like, I genuinely loved their interactions, and I wanted them to get back together by the end of the film. But there is this other element of the movie which does make it a bit queerer, Conrad, because we go to a hypnotist. So Lilian goes to a hypnotist, and it's because she thinks that she can recover something that she has forgotten from her interactions with this woman who has died, Paula. So she goes to the hypnotist and she starts to experience past lives. And in the past life, she and Paula were lovers. So we get to see Jodie Foster as a male musician during the time of the Nazi occupation of France. So we're seeing Jodie Foster almost dragged up as this queer musician in an orchestra with Paula. And it's an interesting moment that I don't think I would take much stock of if it wasn't such a prominent queer figure.
Yeah, she brings so much to the table in terms of context and meaning. That's the problem with having star power, is that you inherently inform the films that you're in.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a three-pronged, odd combination, this cocktail of pot-boiling psychological thriller,
Yes.
past life supernatural fantasy,
Yes.
with a sort of romance twinge to it as well. And then all of it layered over with a nice little dash of French farce, but not really silly.
No, and to the point where when you mentioned farce, I almost wanted to interject and be like, no, Conrad, we can't give off the impression that this is jokey, because so much of it is actually her feeling like she might be in danger because she suspects that Paula's husband is the one who committed the murder. And of course, when you cast someone like Mathieu Amalric, you see him and you think, well, there's a fucking villain. He played a Bond villain. So obviously this guy is dubious, questionable, probably capable of killing his wife. And so you just, like, I think it is ingenious casting for those two specific roles. Like Jodie Foster is bringing something, as you said, star power to the table, but star power of a queer kind. And then Amalric is bringing villain, like he's giving villain vibes the whole time. He's giving Lilian side eye. He's acting shady as fuck. So you just keep thinking, okay, well, she's going to find something. And when she does find something, you think, well, it must mean something nefarious, as opposed to just, oh no, he's a flawed human being and he and his wife's relationship was complicated.
Yeah. I have to say there are a number of elements in the film I really enjoyed. I found the hypnotism scene really potent.
Yes.
So the sound design of it is really striking, especially in the theatre. See it in the theatre if you get an opportunity to.
Yes.
Visually, it's quite imaginative. It's not using a huge budget and lots of special effects. It's using a bizarre combination of images that are very evocative.
Yes.
And unsettling. You have music by an artist called Rob.
Oh, just Rob.
Just Rob,
Okay.
yes. But I've liked him ever since he did the score for the Elijah Wood remake of that...
Maniac.
Maniac, yes.
Okay.
The score for that is amazing.
Okay.
And yeah, apparently Rob has been working with Roberta Zlotowski for quite some time. So I'd be interested to check out their other works together. But I thought the score was really good. It's a playful combination of marimba and castanets.
Okay.
Yes, which gives it just the right tone. It's slightly creepy, it's slightly filled with a sense of intrigue.
Yes.
But it's also fun.
Yes. And to be honest, I think you could probably slap that on the poster for this movie. I think I'm a little higher on it than you. I will confess, I agree with you that I think the hypnotism sequences are well scored and visualized in a really interesting way. Like basically it's about going down stairs and opening doors, but it's lit with this like really vibrant red filter to, make it very obvious. These are not real stairs. These are not real doors. This is within the mind and so on. So I like the way it was shot, but I kind of hated it narratively. The hypnotism stuff did not work for me.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, folks. It is a red herring because none of it actually pays off. And I do think that maybe is the point. A murder mystery is filled with all kinds of red herrings and things that don't actually matter, or, they do matter, but not within the context of the investigation. So it's in keeping with the genre. But I found that it makes the film a little too long for what it ultimately is. Like, I think you could probably trim this movie up and have a more satisfying viewing experience.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I came away from it feeling as though I'd had a good time.
Yes.
But I didn't really know how I felt about it.
Yeah, it is a curiosity that way. I think in part because it feels like it is juggling a bunch of different genre or genre adjacent balls. And because it's not actually giving you any of them to the fullest extent, you think it feels like a bit of a hodgepodge. but anchored with Foster's performance because she is so fucking compelling and captivating. Like she's in almost every scene in the movie, and she's running around in her goddamn trench coat, just having a great time in the city of Paris. And you think, yeah, I'll watch Jodie Foster run around, maybe investigating a murder for about 2 hours.
Absolutely. Especially if she's revitalizing Sony mini disc technology.
Which, my God, I should have known that you would latch onto this. Like, well, this is the movie's raison d'etre, because it's not that, oh, she's such a disinterested therapist that she can't remember details of her clients' meetings, so she has to fucking record it. You're like, no, give me the outdated technology.
Yeah. But exactly. But it plays into that exact same theme, is that she is not interested in learning new technology. So she's using something that's 20 years old, if not more than
Maybe
that.
more, yeah.
Yeah. I loved mini discs, so it was nice to see them again, even though the sound designer for some reason thinks that they make the same noise as tapes when you rewind them.
Yes, that was a curiosity, but I'm in hard agreement with you there. I do think that the movie is really tactile in certain instances, and this one, it'd be so easy to just have her whip out her phone and play us a fucking voice memo, and it would have been fine, but it wouldn't have been particularly memorable. Whereas, at one point there's a break-in and we see someone has gone through the tapes and stolen one of Paula's, and you think, oh, we see the tapes scattered about, and you think, oh, that's so many private conversations that somebody has access to. Like, it really involves you in the mystery. And I like that sense of, she's a little bit antiquated. She's resistant to change. And it does play into the nature of all of her relationships.
And it's one of those murder mysteries where, as you say, it's not what you expect. And you should pay attention to the opening scene. The opening scene is not frivolous.
No, it is not.
So pay attention. But yeah, I would recommend it. I enjoyed it.
I did too. I feel like it's the kind of thing I might maybe watch with my mom. And I hope that doesn't sound dismissive, but maybe that gives you a better sense of who the target audience is. Like, I think this is going to appeal to slightly older folk.
Yeah, I think it will too.
Yeah. All right. Well, folks, let us know if it's piqued your interest. Are you a fan of Jodie Foster? Did our conversation make this sound gay enough? If you have any thoughts or feelings, of course, you can reach out to us on social media at The Queer Gaze, or you can drop us an email at The Queer Gaze Show. But keep an ear out for other TIFF coverage.
Yeah, please do.